Well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 straight wins. The Denver Nuggets, when everybody had written them off, said they weren't going to do this, weren't going to do that, the Denver Nuggets, all of the sudden, they have been on a great winning streak. Now, always want to take into account the competition. But hey, this is the same Denver Nuggets team that lost to the Blazers, who will get a chance to play. They lost to the Washington Wizards already. They lost to the Pelicans when they shouldn't have. They lost to the Bulls. This is the same team that they have losses to teams that are under 500 that aren't performing, and then they are now finally taking care of their business. Now, they got a really good back-to-back games with the Blazers. The Blazers have played really well as of late. Those games are going to be something that's a lot different than it was to start the year off. Blazers deserve respect. They've been winning a lot of games. But tonight, the Denver Nuggets, no MPJ, no Westbrook. They continue to take care of business. No Peyton Watson. And the Nuggets walk into this game. And Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic decide that, you know what? Let's get this game over as soon as possible, y'all. The Denver Nuggets, man, 6 straight wins. I think something's brewing. The Denver Nuggets, they get a 6 straight win over the Phoenix Suns, 122-105. And this is what you love to see. The Phoenix Suns on the second night of a back-to-back after a thriller win versus the Utah Jazz just 20 hours before tip-off today. They went into overtime last night. I figured their legs would get to them, and that's exactly what happened today. Devin Booker, minus 18. He had 24 points, but just 8 of 19 from the field. They just didn't have a lot of their horses. No Kevin Durant, no Bradley Beal. The center position was just in flux all day. They couldn't guard anything. The Denver Nuggets, on the other hand, they were missing a lot of key players, including their second best player this year, Michael Porter Jr., including their sixth man of the year, Russell Westbrook, including their best defender, I think, is Peyton Watson. They didn't have any of those pieces, but yet they were still able to get the job done because Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, they just decided that today they weren't going to lose. Nikola Jokic today plays just 3 quarters, played 28 minutes, 26 points, 11 rebounds, and 9 assists today, in literally a sleepwalk game of greatness. Jokic, he happened to, through a half-court heave today again, missed that shot. That's the only reason he missed that 3. Joker was actually 11 of 12 from the field today in true attempted shots. That's a 91 true shooting, 11 of 13. Joker is just on a heater right now. I don't know how many this is since January 1st, but this is his 11th game this year where Joker has not had to play in a fourth quarter. This is the 11th game this year where Joker did not play in the fourth quarter. Now, I don't know what that was in the 2022-23 year. I actually would be curious. I need to go look up that number, how many fourth quarters he didn't play in. But I think this is important. And the reason it's important because Joker, who had to carry this crazy load to start the year, you want to give him an opportunity to just to get to breathe. Like Jokic has started off this year where he was just, I mean, honestly, he was doing things we had never seen before. Like quite literally, and he still is. But now Joker, I think because of the requisite help on the roster, now against the tough teams, he's obviously going to have to really step up and do more. Like against the Minnesotas of the world and the Lakers of the world, OKC, obviously, Memphis, Houston. He's going to have to really like show up in those games. But again, some of these other games versus the team that are just trying to find their way, he just kind of is able to go through this process. And it's really important because, Joker, listen to this. 29 minutes today, 31 minutes versus Orlando, 36 minutes versus the Pelicans, 36 minutes versus the Pelicans, 37, 37, 33, 40, 32, 37. That's the last 10 games. You notice he's averaging almost 35 minutes a game in that stretch. But the thing that's saving it, and the thing that's been saving it, is that Joker, when you get these points in the season where you're playing versus teams that you're just like have a huge matchup advantage against, you want to be able to lower the minute count in these games. And if you look at the Hawks game, 30 minutes played. If you look at the game versus Dallas, 29 minutes played. You look at the game versus Miami, 31 minutes played. Orlando in Orlando, 30 minutes played. Philly in Denver, 30 minutes played. Minnesota, that game was 32 minutes, but that was a wash of a game. And so they're finding moments to be able to rest him. And I think, especially given what the ask is going to be come playoff time, it's really important for you to be able to find that in a regular season context. So shout out to Jokic, best player in the world. They're a game and a half out of the 2 seed, by the way. Just a game and a half out of the 2 seed. Look, I already told y'all I think Joker's been the best player in the world. I think he's going to win the MVP. But I think also, too, like, if they keep winning games like this, they're going to get up to the 2 seed, and Joker's going to be averaging a 30-point triple-double on all-time great efficiency, and the questions are going to be really loud. Why? What are you going to have to do to keep him from winning it? Great game from Joker tonight. Jamal Murray, excellent game, y'all. One of his top 6 games of the year. 30 points for Jamal Murray, 5 assists, 3 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 block. Way to stuff the stat line. Plus 18 in his minutes. 12 of 33 from the field, which is 52% from the field. 6 of 9 from 3, 67% from 3. No free throws taken. Now, this is the thing. Jamal Murray has missed a lot of 3-pointers as of late, and I've told y'all this. We've been tracking this. That's just what happens sometimes. Sometimes shooters, they're going to go through slumps. They're not going to be able to hit those shots that are so natural for them, and they're going to miss a lot of 3-pointers. And so that's just been Jamal. Jamal, as of late, hasn't shot the 3-pointer well. But y'all, again, you look up, we're February 8th now. Since December 1st, Jamal Murray, 21.4 points a game. That's right around his kind of this version, like career average Jamal Murray. 6.1 assists, right around what he's been averaging. 3.8 rebounds, right around what he's been averaging. So the last 32 games, which is over half the season, Jamal's saying 20, 21, 6, and 4. And in that stretch, he's shooting 48% from the field, which is very good, 39% from the 3, and then 92% from the free throw line. That's all great. That's all great. And that's not even including tonight in this line that I'm looking at. So Jamal has just he's been finding himself more and more and more and more as the season's gone on. Now, because he's a guard, he's going to miss shots. That's going to happen. Like, he's not SGA. SGA, like today, he was 8 of 26. SGA, I mean, he will go like months shooting at least 48, 47% from the field, if not 50. Because, again, his shot profile, he gets to the rim, gets to the mid-range, gets to the free throw line, drawing a lot of contact. So even if it's a more contested shot, he's able to create contact getting to the free throw line. Jamal's not like that. Jamal is very dependent on his jump shot. Like, that's what he does. Like, Jamal is relying on that being able to go down, and he's a tough shot maker. So because of that, his field goal percentage is going to oscillate, but I love how aggressive he was tonight. I think 30 points for Jamal Murray on that efficiency is great. That's 65 true shooting tonight. Great game for Jamal, plus 18. So again, plus 19 for Joker, plus 18 for Jamal. And then Julian Strawther had an up and down game, but ended up with 18 points, y'all, 6 rebounds, 1 block or 1 steal. And he was 4 of 10 from 3. You love to see it, y'all. You got 10 threes from Strawther and 9 threes from Jamal Murray. They took 35 threes tonight, and they were 16 of 35, 45.7%. You got to at least keep pace. Like, the other team on the other side of the court, the Suns shot 50 threes, and they made 17. The Nuggets kept pace because they made 16 threes. So high efficiency, which is what the Denver Nuggets do. They are a highly efficient 3-point shooting team, but you got to keep that. You got to keep your averages up around like 35, 36, 37, 38. It has to be. And Julian's a big part of that. 10 threes tonight is great. He was getting beat. He got beat in 4 straight possessions defensively. And the possessions were like, Julian, he misses a rotation. He's late on a rotation. He doesn't close out correctly, or Devin Booker just kind of bullied him to a spot and shot over him. But I want to give Julian credit too, because Julian had a great turnover force today on Devin Booker. I think it was Devin, or might have been Ty. I can't remember. It was a show and recover in which they were trying to get Julian back onto Booker, and so he showed, but then he got back immediately. And so because of that, he got forced to a spot, and then Jalen Pickett was able to get his hands in the cookie jar, and they were able to get a steal as well. So Julian played a lot better in the second half. And when he makes his shots, man, like it makes a world of a difference for this team. So shout out Julian Strother. Aaron Gordon tonight, plus 13, 9 points, just 2 of 9 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3, 4 of 4 from the free throw line. But he had 10 rebounds, and he had 4 assists tonight. Aaron Gordon has been a madman. He's been passing the ball super well as of late. And he's been really their second best playmaker, obviously, with no Jamal, no Russ. So they took care of business, man. Like AG, I think, again, a lot of AG's games through the rest of this month, getting into March, about him getting his body right, getting it back in shape, getting used to playing NBA basketball, getting fully in the flow of the season. And he will get there. But tonight, I think it's just another example of him trying to work through some of that. Christian Brown, 18 points for Christian. 6 of 13 from the field for Christian. He was a plus 19, 1 of 5 from 3, but he was, again, shooting really well from inside the paint. 5 of 8 from 2 today, 5 of 6 from the free throw line. Love to see it. He had 6 assists and 7 rebounds, y'all. 6 assists and 7 rebounds for him today. That is excellent. That's excellent, y'all. And I'm actually really curious to see kind of how he continues to progress over the year, because that playmaking, he had a great playmaking possession today where he was able to drive, then he was able to kick out to Jalen Pickett for a 3. And we'll talk about Jalen Pickett in a minute here. But again, because he dribbles to the rim so much, and because he's so good in transition, the more he figures out the game as a passer, he's going to become an even more well-rounded offensive player. So a really good game for Christian Brown today. Played really good defense on Devin Booker. Off the bench, y'all, the best bench player tonight was Jalen Pickett. Zeke Naji was right behind him, but Jalen Pickett, y'all, plus 10 tonight, 6 points, 1 assist, 1 rebound, and then he also had tonight, had 1 block. He was 2 of 6 from the field, but he was 2 of 3 from 3, and those were back-to-back threes. The Suns were trying to get back in the game in the third quarter, trying to. And Jalen Pickett made a 3 off of a CB drive, and then he also made a pull-up transition 3 off of a Jokic pass. And those were 2 big possessions. And then Pickett got a transition stop on Monte Morris in the third quarter as well. Just, again, like, just great basketball, like really smart basketball. And again, he got a steal on a show and recover with Julian Strother earlier. Like, I'm telling you, like, there's a lot to like about Jalen Pickett's game. I'll say that. There's a lot to like about Jalen Pickett's game. I love how in tune he is with what he's supposed to be doing on the court. Like, he never forces the issue. And what I love about that is it just allows, I think, for the team around him to be able to slot easily, and then for him to slot with the starters or whoever he's in the game with. And I think when you have that kind of possession, and you have, like, again, like, the where you're able to kick the ball out to him, he can finish the play, but also he's able to drive and pass to somebody else. Whenever you have a player like that is developed and knows what he's supposed to do on a possession, I think that aids them in their development and how well the team can trust him. And right now, Jalen Pickett, because he's also better defensively than a lot of people realize because of how sound he is. Like, he has to be a technician because he's not the biggest, strongest, and fastest athlete. But when you're dealing with, like, a team that's developing behind the starters, you love getting moments like this from players like Jalen Pickett. And I really like how he's developed this year. He's been very smooth in the last really 2 months when he has played in a game. Zeke Naji today, again, played another good game of defense. He didn't have to do a lot, had 5 rebounds, had 4 points. He was a plus 8, 1 of 4 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Look, I want Zeke to stay in the rotation. He has to anyway, obviously, because Peyton Watson's out, but this is his moment, man. The only person that didn't play tonight, Dario Saric. Dario is just, he doesn't, again, I said this already, Zeke just does everything the Nuggets need him to do physically. He just has to do it mentally, and he has to be ready for that emotionally. That's always going to be his biggest hang-up as a young player. He has the physical skills. He just has to have the mental wherewithal and the emotional stability. And when he has that working, he looks really productive. 4th straight good game for Zeke Naji. DeAndre Jordan, 4 points off the bench, a +2, 2 of 5 from the field. Hunter Tyson, 2 of 2 from the field, 1 of 1 from 3, had 5 points today. Trey Alexander got 5 minutes today, and PJ Hall, Spencer Jones ended up closing out the game. The Nuggets shot 49% from the field, 46% from 3, 94% from the free throw line. 49, 46, 94 on 122 points. Like, that's special. The Nuggets they took 92 field goals and 17 free throws. 92 field goals and 17 free throws for 122 points. That is elite offense, y'all. That's elite offense. And again, their defense hasn't been what's carrying them on this win streak or really since the turn of January. But 115.6 defensive rating today, it's not terrible. But a 134 offensive rating, I mean, that's impeccable. They had a 103.4 half-court offensive rating today as well. They shot well at the rim. They shot well from 3. They shot well from mid-range. They just did everything that you want them to do. So shout out to the Denver Nuggets. Everybody on the team that needed to play well tonight, they did, and especially picking up without Michael Porter Jr. And then Jamal Murray stepping back into the rotation and stuff as well. Yeah. Really solid, man. Like I'm really happy with how things are right now. Again, like these are teams you're supposed to beat. So that's all that matters. Like they're teams that you're supposed to beat. And when they weren't beating these teams, everybody was worried. Everyone was worried. Everyone was concerned, as they should be. But the Nuggets are 34-19, y'all. They're 6th in the NBA net rating. They're 6th in the NBA net rating. And they're right behind the New York Knicks, and they're about to take over, hopefully, the Memphis Grizzlies in the standings here soon. I think they're the second best team in the Western Conference when it all matters, when it all said and done. Now, they're going to have to do it. They're going to have to get there. But, man, like, if I just – let me filter this out because they updated the team data on NBA.com site. So, including today, the Denver Nuggets are 16-6, y'all. They're 16-6 since January 1st. They're second in the NBA net rating with a plus 8.7. Since January 1st, they have the 10th best defense in the league. The 10th best defense in the league, and they are the second best offense in the league. So they have turned a new leaf since the turn of the year. And that's a big deal. And again, that is a 22-game sample size. So I think that, again, that kind of stuff is important because you just want to know that the Nuggets are starting to really like turn the corner and take care of business. They're 22-9 in their last 31 games as well. And you're just feeling the confidence from the team continue to increase. And you're just feeling like they're just finding their way more and more. And that's what you want to see as the season is progressing. The Nuggets are 21-9 in their last 30. Like, you know, they're winning over 60. So what is that? Let me see. Make sure I get that exact math right. Let's see. 21. The Nuggets are winning 70% of their games since December 15th. So we're almost 2 months. We're almost 2 months in now. And the Nuggets, in the last 2 months, are 4th in the NBA net rating. They are 20th in defense, golly, but their offense has been hellacious. So that's what's been carrying them. I don't know if they're going to actually turn into a good regular season defense this year. I honestly have no idea. But I know in a large enough sample size now, we've seen them. They're a top 4 team in the league, basically. Now they got some really important games coming up after the All-Star break, and I think that's going to be a nice measurement. It's going to be a really nice measurement. They're going to have the Celtics. They're going to have the Thunder twice. They're going to have the Lakers, I think, 3 times. They're going to have the Suns again. They're going to have the Minnesota Timberwolves, I think, twice. Then they're going to have the Memphis Grizzlies, I think, maybe 3 times. And then they're going to play the Houston Rockets maybe 2 or 3 times. So those are all games that I think are going to be challenging, but I think they're ready for those things. I think if everybody's healthy, they should be fully ready to play those games and win a lot of those games because that's how good they've been. When they're healthy, they've been able to do anything. The issue is just that when they are missing a guy, especially a big guy in the rotation this year, they don't have the depth to make up for it. They have played the Grizzlies twice, but I think they should play them 2 more times Here, let me check this Nugget schedule. Nugget schedule. So they have upcoming Blazers. Both of those are in Denver. And then they have the All-Star break. So they got the Hornets. So they play the Lakers. They got the Celtics. They got the Bucks. They got the Wolves, Thunder. So basically they have the Lakers, Pacers, Bucks, Pistons, Celtics, Kings, Sun, Thunder, both in OKC, Timberwolves, Lakers, Wizards, and then they got the Warriors, Lakers again. So y'all, that's a lot of there's a lot of Laker games. They got 3 Lakers games from February 22nd to March 19th. In the NBA, if they're smart, will put every single one of those on national television if Luka Doncic is going to be playing those games versus Jokic. Then they got the Rockets, Bucks again. So again, y'all are getting the picture. Their last game of the year is versus the Rockets, and that's going to have playoff implications and seeding. And that's a 3:30 game, so it looks like an ABC game more than likely on that date. So yeah, this is what you want though. You want your team finding solves against playoff teams later in the year, and they're going to have an opportunity to do that, you all. So y'all make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all my favorite people in the world. Building up this community one subscriber at a time, y'all. I can't wait. Denver Nuggets, they're winning. They're cruising. You know what time it is.